Hi, dear friends. Welcome back to class number 2 of IWL Diet Plan by Maryam Khawaja. Well, in last class, I told you that you're going to lose weight by just listening to me, and we proved it. So this class, we have some material to cover in which I will tell you the meaning of IWL Diet Plan. So before we get started with class number 2, I'd like to suggest that if anybody has not seen class number 1 and you just joined, you haven't missed much. You can catch up with class number 1. It's just a 6 minutes video, and you have to write your weight and today's date that you're starting with me. And please do check up on the recipes playlist that you see on AAI activities, because that's all the food recipes that I have prepared. And for next class, we are actually going to get into the real foods that I'd like to suggest, and we're going to work on that. And this class, I'm going to talk about the first factor in the diet plan, which is motivation. So we're going to talk about that at the very end of the video. But before that, I'd like to tell you, I asked you, what do you think IWL diet plan stands for? So IWL diet plan stands for Islamic Weight Loss Diet Plan. What? Yes, you haven't heard of that before, because this is something really new that I came up with, and I discovered, and I just mentioned to you that we did a little group of studies, and turned out that this type of weight loss diet plan is applicable to any age. And it will work regardless of where you're living or what you eat. So we're going to get into that shortly. So you don't have to worry about that, because this is not going to restrict you from any type of foods. So next question is, where did I get this idea of starting an Islamic weight loss plan? So how did I discover or find out about this IWL diet plan? So last couple of years were a little bit hard for myself, and I was going through factors like bad lifestyle, stress, sleep deprivation, unhealthy food habits. So everything that would increase your weight. And obviously nobody really likes that. And I was not happy about the way I looked, and I wanted to lose weight, but keeping all those other factors constant, changing my diet alone was not going to help me. So I ended up establishing a system of foods and habits that helped me lose 30 pounds without going to the gym, without extra sleeping, without going on crash diet, because I was eating chocolates and candies and everything else that I liked, and I love good food, so I could not starve myself. So this worked for me. And then we did this study on a couple of other people, and it turned out that it gave the same result to them. So I thought it would be a good idea to share it with all my friends and family, so you can also try and benefit from it. Okay, so when I was sad about my weight and I could not do anything, I was kind of stuck and stressed out. So I thought about one person who is always happy no matter what type of problem or stress is around him. And I would think, what would that person do if he was in my spot? And what rang to me was my dad, because I always see him very happy and satisfied no matter what the problem is. And I remembered his words that, Maryam, whenever you buy a toy or a computer, it comes with a manual. And that manual will tell you how to take care of that specific toy or gadget, because the manufacturer knows inside out about that specific toy. So that rang to me. And so he said that Quran is a guide for us, and Allah is our manufacturer. So He's written whatever, however we run the best. So that always rang to mind. That's how I always got back to Quran. And then when I was stuck with this IWL diet plan, I said I have to find my answer from Quran, because this is the true book and there's nothing false written in it. So it's just that we can't see it, we can't find the answer. So I was determined, I looked into it, and I found my answer. And here I am, thanks to COVID. This program was going to be paid, but it's going to be free for all of you, because it's better I share with you here, because everything else is closed these days. So this is how it came to me. It was meant to happen, so it did. So let's, without further delay, let's just get started. Okay, so I'm going to read these two verses from Quran as premises for what we're going to do next. And it says, "What then does He who created all, and He who is the knower of the subtleties, the aware, not know about His creations?" And in another verse, you find, "Unquestionably, we have created mankind, and we know what his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein." And the third last premise for the basic of what we're going to follow, Allah says, "Say to the people, O Muhammad, do you wish to teach Allah about your deen, complete way of life, whereas Allah knows all that is contained in the heavens and all that is upon the earth, and surely Allah has complete knowledge of everything." So these verses from Quran were sufficient for me to convince that Allah is our manufacturer and we have to get guidance from Him regarding how to take care of our body, and if there is a problem and we gain extra weight, unhealthy weight, how to get rid of that. So the next step was how to find the foods that is going to help me to lose the right weight and not get food deprived, or I didn't want to starve, because you want to lose healthy weight that is going to be forever, rather than lose certain weight and then gain it back after a month or two. So you don't want that. So the next question is what food we need to eat. Now let's, before we get into the type of food, I'd like to quote another verse from Quran that actually tells us some foods. So let's get to those. Okay, so the first verse I'm going to quote is from Surah Baqarah, verse number 168, which says, "O mankind, eat from whatever is on earth that is lawful and good." This means that mankind is allowed to eat whatever is good for them. That is food and drink identified as pure, clean, wholesome, nourishing, and pleasing to the taste in general. Everything is allowed except what has been specifically forbidden. So this means don't make haram on yourself what Allah allowed and made halal on us. That means enjoy everything. Do not deprive yourself of any food. That means you don't have to feel like you're full. You have to be full. So you have to eat to your capacity that you like. Okay? And don't, so in other words, if you are going to deprive yourself of certain foods, even for some time, your body is going to adjust, and it's not really what you want to do to that, because that's going to mess up your ecosystem of your body. Okay, so I'm going to quote another verse for you, where Allah says, "O Moses, we can never endure one kind of food, so call upon your Lord to bring forth from us, from the earth, its green herbs, and its cucumbers, and its garlic, and its lentils, and its onions." That's Surah Baqarah, verse number 61. So these are the foods Allah specifically mentions to us that are good for you and you must eat. And knowing that you need immunity these days, so you want to lose weight, you want to diet, but at the same time, you don't want to get so weak. So your immunity is going to be weak and you're losing weight, but also your immunity, and you're getting sick and going to the hospital. You don't want that. So that's something you refer to. And lastly, for today's class, I'm going to quote one hadith from Sahih Bukhari, which says, Allah Messenger said, "A Muslim eats in one intestine, that is, he's satisfied with little food." So when you're eating food, you want to make sure you're not too full. So leave a little room in your stomach. Don't eat to the full of your stomach's capacity. You want a little bit room left when you're eating food. So no matter what you're eating, your whatever full meals, but leave a little bit of capacity in your stomach. Okay, so we are on the next section, second half of our video by now. And I mentioned to you, we're going to talk about motivation. So the very first thing about starting any diet is your motivation. So first of all, you want to know what you don't want as your motivation. So you don't want your motivation to be short term. So in other words, you don't want to lose weight because you want to fit into a certain dress, or you want to attend a certain party, or you want to lose weight for a certain event. You don't want that type of motivation, because if your motivation is short term, your achievement is also going to be short term. That is why when people lose weight, they're very happy, but after 2 months, 6 months, they start gaining weight back to normal, and sometimes even more than what they were before. So your motivation in the first place has to be right. So your motivation has to be long term. So you want a good, right reason for your weight loss. So your right reasons could anything be like, you want to live a healthier life. You don't want to be dependent on anyone. Even when you're 100 years old, you want to be walking on your feet. You want to live longer and healthier for the people who are dependent on you. You want to serve the community. You want healthier life so you can see your kids, your grandkids, and probably grandkids in a very healthy state of mind and physique. So it could be anything, but when your motivation is long term, your goals are going to be easily achievable, and you will have a reason why you want that objective to be completed. So get your motivation right, please. And lastly, I'm going to share with you a secret skincare tip that a lot of people think might help. So I would say, if you have lots of nice creams and all the skincare products, keep them, but just for a week. Take a little small bottle or cup and put some coconut oil in it. So take organic coconut oil and keep it in a small jar inside your room or on your dresser, and use it as a face cream just when you're in the house or just before going to bed. Use it to take off your makeup. So as a makeup remover, and that's going to be really, really good for you. So just for 1 week, do it and see the difference. Don't throw away any other creams, just use it. The reason is that coconut oil is actually made of fats that are similar to the fat cells in your skin. and they help you heal, and they help you fix the collagens and all of that. There's lots of benefits of coconut oil. So just use it as a cream. Take the nice organic coconut oil, so it has no fragrance, no color. Take a little bit and just massage it on your face. Use it as a makeup wipe, and it would work really, really nice. Okay, so I will hopefully see you in my next video with some more foods that we need to follow and some more healthcare tips. Thank you for your support, and I hope you catch up with video number 1 if you haven't done. Write your weight, I repeat, and write today's date and see how your weight is going to gradually go down as you listen to me. Okay, so take care and stay safe, stay home. I will see you next time. Bye.